Good morning and welcome to this vlog. This vlog is just going to be a workout and me chatting about my new workout split because you guys have been asking a ton of questions about it on my Instagram, and because I have allowed my nutrition coach, Jason Theobald, to take over my training programming during this deficit that we are implementing. As you guys know, in my past, probably my training has gotten the best of me during a deficit, and so essentially I'm just letting him kind of take over the reins of everything, control all variables, so we can have everything laid out on the table, controlled, and essentially in his hands here. Not that I don't trust myself, but I don't. I love to train. I don't train like a turd, and sometimes I will work a little bit too much in the gym. I do program deloads, you guys know that. All of my phase trainers available on my website do have deloads programmed in them, but I, however, sometimes will train to my environment. If I'm hype in the environment, sometimes I will do more than my program says for the day. And so this is just keeping me accountable on all fronts here. I am in the design of my phase 3 program. So what you guys are gonna see here today is gonna be a snippet of what you would see in that phase 3 program. I am going to take what I've learned from Jason and implement it into designing my own training program, because I promised him that this will be a learning experience for me, not only to let him take the reins and experience what that's like, but also to learn a little bit different training style that might complement my physique. I'm excited for you guys to see this footage, enjoy this workout, and potentially join me in my next beta crew. You guys know what my beta crew is. It is my initial launch testers. I run all my training programs with a small group of women prior to releasing it to the general public, because I want their feedback. I want to see how they handled the training program, see what worked, what didn't. They also provide just amazing support for one another through the process. And so this is just the beta program. The beta testers are just a unique group of women that get the opportunity to run through the program with me. We do Facebook Lives. It's kind of a big deal, and they kind of learn a lot during the process, and I love that so much. And it gives me a platform to where I can teach a small audience. When I do open it up to welcome more beta crew members into our Facebook group, you guys better be following me on Instagram, because that is where I announce it. Typically I don't do a vlog necessarily to announce it, so just be sure following me on Instagram and you will see all the details for it, and it will be available for purchase on my website hopefully later in the month of July. So next thing I'm going to show you guys is my pre-workout supplements, because I'm sure you guys want to see that, because things may have changed a little bit. All right, so opening up my little cabinet here. This is my new intro workout, BCAAs. I have been using this. This is through New Ethics, which is the brand that Jason Theobald owns. And so I've been using a lot of their products, and this is the BCAA Kiwi Cherry Limeade flavor. It's actually really, really good. Here is some information, facts about it. There you go. If you guys want to see, it does have the keto salt blend, which I have been super impressed with the pumps that I get in the gym from this product, and just the overall electrolyte replenishment that I get from this too, which I think is really helpful when I'm training at high temperatures here in the summer at the Katie Hearn gym. So I make sure to use this every time I go there. Then I also put my Legion Athletics Recharge. This is the new flavor, the strawberry lemonade. The two of these together taste bomb. Like, whew, guys, major lit combo right there. Use the Alani new BCAA cucumber mint occasionally. This one is delicious. I'm a huge cucumber mint fans. Oh my god, look y'all, my nail, it's so bad. This is what I've got right now. This is the Grape Pulse pre-workout. I use 1 scoop right now because I am trying to limit my caffeine intake so I can have coffee. True story. That's it. Pre goes in here. Intros go in here. I love having the 2 different sizes because it helps me keep track of what's in what. Hi Beans. All right, let's go train. There was a song by Trick Daddy. My husband and I were like, I can't believe this is not one of the more popular ones, and now I can't find it. Is this one? Oh yeah. This is not appropriate. Actually, no Trick Daddy song is appropriate to be honest. I used to know every song or every lyric capri pants and parachute clothes. Underlay, underlay, mommy, E-I-E-I-O-O. Hit right, Nelly, where or not. Alright, we gonna go work out. We got today, we have day 4 of my 6-day training cycle. This is what we're gonna work through. These are my PRs that I have to track through this entire training cycle. And then the others are just some accessory work. So it's a short workout today. Excited to share this with you guys.
Come on now. If you wanna go and take a ride with me, we 3 women in the 4 with the goatees. Oh, I live this way. Hey, must be the money. If you wanna go and get high with me, smoke the air in the back of the Benzie. Oh, I feel 18 with an attitude, of 19 kinda snotty, acting real rude. But as long as you a diggy thick girl, you know the song.
Hi you guys, and welcome to this workout. It's been quite a minute since I've done a voiceover, let alone done workout footage, honestly. So this is kind of the first time I'm seeing my physique in my deficit phase in the camera, to be honest, like other than just selfies on the gram. So I'm coming at you guys with a new workout and kind of a training cycles explained video. So what we've done with my training is we've consolidated my training into less movements but more frequency, meaning I'm training more days a week now. Originally in my off season I was doing 4 days a week, and so now we are ramping it up to 6 days per week, but the number of movements is quite less. So what you're seeing is my first movement, which is the pec deck flies, and we're actually starting with kind of a pre-pump movement. So we're using a machine or cables for a lot of my first movements, and we're hitting a high rep range starting at 20 reps for this first set to really kind of get the blood into the tissue, kind of get me going. And then we're going to move into the second movement, which is actually one of my PR focused movements. So we are tracking some PRs over various movements through these training cycles I'm doing. So even though I'm in a deficit, I'm not trying to go all out for all the movements in my program, but I am trying to track PRs and progression in some of my heavier compound lifts, one of which being the bench press. And I worked up on the bench press to 70 pounds here with the Smith machine. And then we're going to go into the third movement, the third movement, which is the kneeling bilateral cable curls. So you'll see that I'm doing these as a single arm movement. They can be done as a dual arm movement, but I just didn't want to take up the entire cable system to myself at the Katie Hearn gym. It was kind of busy that day. So again, we're starting with biceps now. So we are doing a pumper based movement, which we started off at 20 reps. So we're getting lots of blood into the biceps, and then we're moving into a PR tracked movement. Here is the single arm dumbbell preacher curls. So with a PR tracked movement, again, my rep scheme is 12 per set, and I am working up to my heaviest weight. So my heaviest weight was the 20-pound dumbbells here. I can't remember if these are the 20 pounds or if I filmed the 17. Nope. I think these are actually, I filmed the first set. These are the 15s. So this is really just me warming up to my working weight set. Now we're going to move into the tricep movement. If you've not tried a underhand straight bar press down tricep extension, I would highly suggest this. It's one of my favorite tricep movements. This is the pump focused movement here for the triceps. So we're working at high rep ranges of 15 going down to 8. And then the final movement is a barbell skull crusher. This is a PR tracked movement for me. So I work up to my heaviest of 50 pounds this week. And the last set, which you're not going to see, is actually reps till failure. And in order to execute that, I did have to drop down to the 40 pounds and the preloaded barbells. All right, guys, this concludes this workout. I hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys enjoyed this workout with these voiceovers, and I will see you guys at the end of this vlog for a little recap of my training program. So see you guys there. Bye-bye. I am on another day of training. This is my leg day here. This is the last day of my training cycle. So I wanted to explain to you guys a little bit about my current training cycle and what you guys can expect from a Audacious Athlete Phase 3 trainer. Like I said, I think this is going to be a really fun beta group. So as soon as I launch it on my website, you guys better hop on board, because this is going to be a little bit different than my Phase 1 and Phase 2, as I explained in the beginning of the video. So while this is a pretty dynamic and different program, I'll explain to you guys a little bit about what I've been doing. What I had started with in my off season was 4 days only training, taking the whole weekend off, taking 1 day in the middle of the week off. And then I migrated into a 5-day week training program where I would take 2 days off at the very end of those 5 days. I would train for 3 days, have a day off, then train for 2, then have 2 days off in a row. So it ended up being another 7-day training cycle. And then we migrated into a 6-day training cycle. So the 6-day training cycle is what I'm on now. This is what the Audacious Athlete Phase 3 trainer program is going to be reflecting on. And what we're doing here is I'm on a full 8 days. So my full 8 days includes 3 days of training followed by a day of rest. Then 3 days more of training followed by a day of rest. Within the very end of my training, so leg day today, is a high day, and then tomorrow will be a high day as well. So my moderate low repeats for the first 6 days, moderate low, moderate low, moderate low, and then we're doing 2 days of high intake on my leg day today and high intake on my rest day tomorrow. So that's a great way to help ensure that you're hormonally balanced during a deficit. And we all know, based on my history, that is the goal, is for me to stay hormonally balanced. As of right now, I do still have a cycle, which I'm super pumped about, because typically at this caloric intake and typically at this physical activity level, I would have lost it by now. However, in the past, that's how things look like for me. So I'm really optimistic that this is just going to be a little bit different process for me. And we are basically keeping my hormones at bay as much as we can, which, oh, bless, I'm so happy for. Without further ado, give you guys what my current split is so you can kind of get an idea. So day 1 is back, shoulders, and calves. You guys will laugh, but I am training calves quite often right now. Day 2 is chest and arms. And what you guys saw actually in this video is a chest and arm workout, but that's actually my day 4 chest and arms. So day 3 is back, shoulders, and calves again. Day 4 is chest and arms. Day 5 is back, shoulders, and calves again. And day 6 is legs. So as I mentioned, this program is really to help reduce my inflammation in my legs. And I also want you guys to understand that what I'm doing on my back day, I do have back hyperextensions, which are a glute focused movement. I also still train deadlifts on my back days. So like I mentioned, I'm hitting my glutes and my posterior chain pretty frequently. The only day I'm actually not hitting my glutes in any sort of form is actually day 3, which is the back, shoulders, and calves day in the very middle of the week. There is no posterior chain work, or I should say lower posterior chain work on that day. And then day 6 is legs. So again, this program, I have basically built up the density that I need in my legs to compete at the regional/national level for bikini. So we are trying to basically reduce inflammation in my legs at this point. I still squat, I still deadlift, I still do these major compound movements because those are your foundations for keeping around muscle tissue. Especially for me, I am focused on progressive overload in those particular movements still. So I'm still trying to manipulate rep schemes and weights to achieve optimal muscle retention during this deficit phase. That wraps up this new training cycle. So I hope you guys enjoyed the workout, the voiceovers, and this little chat with me wrapping up my new training cycle. And I hope you guys are excited for Audacious Athlete Phase 3. We are going to have so much fun with this one. It's going to be a little bit shorter. It's not going to be an 8-week program, but I'm not going to release how many weeks it's going to be, but it's just not going to be 8. It's going to be a little shorter. I want to experiment with this option. I told you guys after Phase 1 and 2, I was going to get a little creative on you guys, so I did. So be sure to stay tuned on my Instagram, on my website, for the beta launch of Phase 3. Reminder that the beta launch is only going to be open to a select few people to join in. It's a private Facebook community where we do the whole entire program ourselves before I release it to the public. And it is a great opportunity to get to know me a little bit more on a personal level, for me to get to know you on more of a personal level, and us to interact on the Facebook community with some Facebook Lives. So I hope you love this video. If you like my content and my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate you. If you want to not miss a video from me, hit that notification bell. I promise. I don't upload that much, but when I do upload, they're pretty darn good, I think. All right, I love you guys. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.